Hello everyone and welcome to the next Parallax Composer tutorial. In this video I show you general layer options. So first on the list is parent section option, which allows you to transfer the layer with all its animations to another section. I have a basil layer with some simple motion animations here in best ingredients section, so I just move that layer to the main section now, and as you see, all my key points has been moved on the scroll line. So all my animations run in the same form, but in the different place at the page height. Okay, so I can move my layer between different sections. But let's say that I'm gonna add a new layer now to the different section, but animate it as same as my basil layer. I can create the new layer from the scratch, but with the parent section option, it will be much easier. All I have to do is to go to the layers list to clone my basil layer, and then just move my cloned layer to the another section. And that's it. I have the same layer with the same animations but in the different section, and if I need, I can change the image file for my new layer using change image option. Okay, so using the parent section option you can move the layer between different sections, but as you probably noticed, besides page sections added to the PC via Visual Composer, there is also the body section at the top of the list. Now, as you remember from the first tutorial, layers assigned to one of Visual Composer's page sections are visible only within that section. So when I'm scrolling the page down, my layer is hiding behind neighboring section. But the body section option allows me to place my layer directly inside the body container, and all my key points have been moved to the top of the page. But what's more important, I can animate my layer across the whole page, and my layer is displayed in front of every other page element, in front of page sections, and even in front of Visual Composer shortcut. So if you're going to animate the layer across more than one page section, you have to assign that layer to the body container. Okay, I hope everything is clear so far. So I'm gonna edit basil layer and delete all its animations to show you the next general option. Now, next on the list is relative to screen option, which is a bit more complicated, but it gives you a lot of different uses and it really facilitates animating. As you already know, one of Parallax Composer principles is that the parent section is your animation workspace. So all animations, especially motion animations, relate to that section. And it caused, which you also know, that when I'm scrolling the page down, my layer goes up together with the section. So to keep my layer visible on the screen, I have to manipulate position Y parameter, but R2S option changes that rule. So I turn it on, and now, as you're gonna see, when I'm scrolling the page down, my layer still goes up together with the section. But when the section covers the entire screen, here at this point, my layer stops and stays sticked in the same place until the next section comes on the screen. And let me explain it to you real quick. Relative to screen option causes that to the parent section an additional container is added, and that R2S container becomes a new workspace for the layer animations. That container is placed inside the parent section, so it moves together with the section, but when the section covers the entire screen, that R2S container stays sticked in relation to the browser window, and it adjusts to the size of the screen. And because it's the layer workspace now, I can position and animate my layer in relation to the browser window. I can create advanced animations, and I don't have to calculate how many pixels I'm scrolling between key points to keep my layer on the screen, because my layer stays in view until bottom section comes on the screen. Okay. Next on the list is display in front of content option, and let's take a look on the cloned basil layer, which is basically the tomato now. And this layer is assigned to the body parent section now, which causes that it is always displayed in front of all page elements, including Visual Composer shortcuts. But layers assigned to one of Visual Composer's page sections are displayed behind the content, behind the Visual Composer shortcut. And this option allows you to put layers in front of the content. Okay. Next on the list is the anchor point option, which is, as the name suggests, a point inside the parent container to which the layer is anchored and to which position parameters refer. You can place the anchor point in 9 different positions, but remember that it always refers to the parent container. Now, in this case, my layer is assigned to the best ingredients section, so my layer and all its animations refer to the left top corner of that section. So I change the anchor point to the center position, and as you see, my layer is displayed in the middle of the best ingredients section. So it's in the different place on the screen, but notice that layer animation starts at the same point on the page height and runs in the same form. So once again, the anchor point is just a point to which position parameters refer. But there is one more thing you have to know, that some anchor points change the direction of motion animations. Normally, as in this case, positive value for position X parameter moves my layer to the right, and positive value for position Y parameter move my layer down. And because I have some other key points with positive values for position parameters, when I'm scrolling the page down between these key points, my layer is moving down and to the right. But it's not the rule for all anchor points. When the anchor point is set to one of the left or center positions, then the positive value of position X parameter move layer to the right. But when I change the anchor point to one of the right positions, the same positive values for position X parameter move my layer to the left. And it's very similar for position Y parameter, where positive values for top and center anchor points move my layer down, while the bottom anchors cause that my layer is moving up. Okay, I've already shown you change image option, so the last on the list is shift animations option. It allows you to move all your key points on the scroll line to the different place, so you can use it when you want that your animations run in the same form but in the different place at the page height. So let's see how it works. Now my tomato animation starts here, so when I scroll the page before that point, my layer stays in the same position in relation to the section. And what I want to do is to start this tomato moving before it appears on the screen. So I have to move my key points on the scroll line to start my animation a little higher on the page. And I'm gonna use shift animation option, simply typing the negative value to the text field, and as you see, my animations run in the same form, but they start higher on the page than before. Just as I wanted, the layer starts moving before it appears on the screen. Okay, that was the last general option for the image layer, and as I said at the beginning, you find exactly the same options for other graphic layers. For multi-object layer and for the text layer, but the null object layer has some additional options besides those which I've already shown you. So I'm gonna add a new null object now, and I show you that extra options. Null object is just an additional container which you can use in many ways. By default, it doesn't have any size, so it's just a cross marker placed in the left top corner of the parent section. So I'm gonna place it in the middle of the screen and change its size. As you see, the null object has 2 additional options. This one here allows you to change the color and opacity of auxiliary borders. These borders are displayed only on the preview screen as a container marker, so they won't be visible on your website. So let's keep focus on Set Overflow Hidden option, which is much more interesting and it gives you an extra animation potential. But before I show you how it works, I have to add a new layer and assign that layer to my null object. I'm gonna use a text layer. And as usual, it is displayed in the left top corner of the parent section. But now I'm gonna assign this layer to my null object, and to do so, I simply drag my text layer and drop it below and slightly to the right of the null object. And that what has just happened with the text layer may be confusing for you. Assigning one layer to the another layer, or just layers parenting, is a very complex issue, but what you need to know at the moment is that my child text layer with all its setting and animations relates to the parent layer container now, not to the parent section container. And that's why my text layer is displayed inside the null object. You can learn more about layers parenting with PC online documentation, but for now I'm gonna customize my text layer a little bit. I change its font size and font color just for a better view, and I move the text a little bit down. Okay, now we can jump to the null object layer and I explain you how overflow hidden works. Set overflow hidden option causes that all elements which are assigned to the null object are visible only if they are placed inside null object container. So in this case, half of the text is placed inside the container, but the bottom part of the text is currently placed outside. And as long as the overflow hidden option is disabled, my whole layer is visible. But when I turn it on, then the bottom part of the text disappears. So this is how it works. You can create amazing effects using this option, something like JS viewport animations, but in this case the null object is the viewport, and you decide about its size and position. And of course, using animation parameters, you also decide how and where other layers comes into that viewport. So keep practicing. And that's it in this tutorial. Thanks for watching and have a good day.